Happy New Week. Good morning and welcome. This is TMI Socials. Let's talk what's trending and all you have been reacting to on the space of social media. Welcome on board. I am Paul Stevens. Or better still, call me a social media butterfly. Now this morning we kickstart with the biggest story currently trending on socials, where we did see in the news that the U.S. federal judge has ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Drug Enforcement Administration to release investigative records relating to Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu stemming from a purported narcotics trafficking investigation in the 1990s. Well, according to reports, Judge Howell of the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia handed down the order on Tuesday, rejecting the government agency's attempt to withhold the documents under the so-called Glomar response, a policy allowing agencies to refuse to confirm or deny the existence of records. Well, meanwhile, the federal government came out yesterday to react to it and says, Nigerians, there's no cause for alarm. There is nothing new about the report. But how did you take this on socials? Let's have a couple of tweets and see what you have been saying. Now, we can start with this user who wrote on Instagram. "2027 general election. Well, I am blessed on X says, they want to tarnish our president's image. Nigerian youth should not be deceived." Another user wrote, still on X. Well, this one says, an interesting development. Let's see how things unfold this time under the new Trump administration. Hopefully, it's more substantive than the charade we witnessed with Biden's. Fingers crossed and hoping for the best. Speaking about hoping for the best, right here in Nigeria, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Governor of Kaduna State, Ines Arifai, and former Governor of Sokoto State and a 7th Senator, Aminu Tambuwal, on Friday visited former President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, at his residence in Kaduna State. Now, in a retaliatory move, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, still on Friday led members of the party's National Working Committee on a visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his residence in Kaduna State. Well, this visit actually took place hours after the Vice President Atiku Abubakar led the People's Democratic Party delegation on the courtesy call to the former President of Nigeria. And it's funny how all of this happened just on the same day. I mean, on Friday, we had Atiku's gang go see the former president, and hours afterwards, we saw the APC gang also go see former President Muhammadu Buhari. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Anyway, let's have a feel of Atiku's gang first, and then we'll move over to the other gang. Take a look. Now remember that there have been talks regarding coalition, but Atiku said it's just a post-Salah visitation, a courtesy visit. Now, still on the same Friday, we saw APC National Chairman also go visit the former president. Take a look.
Concerning the group that came to see him, that is not of concern to us. This is just history trying to repeat itself. They won't have a joint venture which will not work. Appointment of members to public offices is dynamic, so we will see from time to time these people are appointed here and there. So, but we are coming up with true figures of the appointment to show you that there is no skewedness in the appointment.
I mean, he says he's not worried about any coalition, that it's nothing at all. But how do Nigerians take this online, this drama, I would say? Moving over to tweets. Let's see what social media users have been tweeting. Now, this one on X says, this is how they have been recruiting and recycling each other to continue holding Nigeria and her progress ransom. Engineer Peter has that to say. Another user wrote, still on X, this one says, I am waiting for this drama in 2027. I cannot wait. That's Patrick Anthony speaking right there on X. Moving over to other reactions, this user on Instagram says, no permanent friends or enemies, just permanent interest. Do not kill yourself for any politician. Well, away from that to other interesting stories that trended over the weekend, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has initiated a search following the theft of a black Toyota Hilux vehicle belonging to the Office of the National Advisor on Security, Nuhu Ribadu, which was stolen on Fridays at Jumeirah prayers in Abuja. Now, it was gathered that this particular vehicle was parked around 1 p.m. opposite Abuja Municipal Area Council Complex in Area 10, while the official attended prayers at a nearby mosque. Well, security source disclosed the incident via his handle, revealing that the ONSA official returned from the mosque only to find the vehicle missing. Now the question is, who stole Nuhu Ribadu's car? That's the big question there. Well, it's not funny though. Let's move over to tweets. Let's see what Nigerians have been saying on this story. This user says, Abuja car theft of Nuhu Ribadu's personal vehicle. A national security advisor who cannot structure the state security apparatus at his beck and call to secure his own effects. What exactly has he been advising the president? This is a major scandal. Another user wrote, still on the story. Why do we always blame government for criminal activities and always forget to condemn the crime and offenders? Interesting. Now, finally, on this one, this user says, if we could have another tweet on the story. It's funny on so many levels because if they move your car like that, it means they know you, even if you don't know them. Secondly, because of the number plates, the thieves will pass any checkpoint without even breaking a sweat. They may even return it and repent, because this is Nigeria. Away from that, we move over to Port Harcourt, where on Friday still, we saw a crowd of women in Port Harcourt, the Aba area of Port Harcourt, staging a protest demanding for the reinstatement of the suspended governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy, Ngozi Odu. Now, with different placards saying, bring back Fubara, save our democracy. Is the law different for River State? God of justice, arise for River State. Those were the songs chanted on Friday. Take a look. 2 reactions on this story. Let's see tweets and see what you reacted to exactly on this one. We'll begin with this user who says, sponsored protest. Fubara is still listening to people licking the remaining oil in his hand. Leadership is much more than ego. Another user wrote, this is what you people supposed to do early before now. But anyway, away from that, the Borno State Governor, Babaganan Zulum, has criticized Nigeria's Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, accusing him of being naive about the country's security situation. Well, the governor actually stated this, on the heels of an attack that happened on Saturday in Damboa, Maiduguri, where 8 people were killed by an explosive device planted by Boko Haram insurgents in that area. Take a look.
Lives, about 7 were severely injured and 14 experienced minor injuries. Let me start with the responses. I don't want to join issues with the Minister of Information. I believe he's naive of what is happening in the country. He doesn't know what is ongoing in the country. Our discussions during the Security Council.
Now, tweets. Let's see what Nigerians have been saying. How can you say the minister doesn't know what's going on? Anyway, this user says, this is really serious. Kudos to the governor for bringing this crisis to light. But to say that the information minister of the country is naive of what is happening says a lot about the minister. It's actually a very damning assessment. Finally, on the story, this user wrote, If we could have the final tweet, this one says, this is a governor asking presidency for intervention, yet nothing is done. But BAT reason for taking over Rivers is that Fubara failed to do the needful in Rivers State. Well, interestingly, that's how we get to wrap up TMI Socials today.